Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sacred Saturdays, a weekly video series where I come in and talk about self-care rituals that I perform myself. Today is actually the very first weekend of April, which, as you may have heard me speak about, is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And as a survivor, this month is very important to me to give back to my community. So in tandem, I decided to create a video about rituals, or at least practices, that we can work through when we've experienced trauma. Now, I believe that these 4 steps are extremely important. However, they are first steps, they are baby steps, and this is a very, very long and tumultuous journey. So making sure that you keep these 4 things in mind is extremely helpful, but remember that this is something that we need to work at continuously, and this is not a cure-all. So the first step that I wanted to talk about is forgiveness. Now, I've heard a lot of people speaking about how you need to forgive, let's say if you have experienced sexual violence, the person that assaulted you. And I'm just going to tell you right now that that's a really difficult first step. So if you're not there yet, it's okay, because it's all a process. I am talking about forgiveness for yourself. Now, when trauma happens to us, it's very easy for us to fall into this trap where we blame ourselves, because it kind of it initiates an idea that we had control, and that if we just did better, we wouldn't have gone through this. And putting it all on the blame allows us to hold on to this idea rather than surrender to what happened and then move through to healing. So the first step, I would say, is to really practice forgiveness for yourself and to circumvent the thoughts that come in and tell you that it was all your fault. That's something that I want you to practice to release, and it's going to be difficult, but it's going to start the engine for change. Number 2, which I think is something you just cannot skip on, is to employ a professional. I'm talking about therapy. If this is, whether it's a fresh wound or not, whether it's something that, you needed to watch this video, it definitely means it's something in your life that is hindering you from healing and being your best self. So employ a professional, go to therapy, get someone that you can talk to. Now, I understand that this might seem like a luxury for some, because therapy can be very expensive, but I can give you a free week of therapy that is no strings attached, and then afterwards is extremely affordable. If you go to betterhelp.com/witchy, and I'll put it in the description as well. Therapy is so needed because it's an objective voice outside of your own brain that can help lead you into the light. And I honestly don't know where I would be without it. I can't stress it enough. When you're going through trauma, your mind is going to do somersaults, and you need someone that's going to help to pull you out. So therapy, number 2, 100%. Number 3, remember to be gentle with yourself. If you've experienced something as crucial as trauma, if it's something that is holding you back, if it's something that's instilling fear in you, be very gentle and notice where you feel things. Honor your triggers. If you know something triggers you, you don't need to jump in the deep end with it. Be extremely gentle, extremely tender with your emotions, because you're trying to heal. You can't keep picking at a scab. You have to let it do its thing. And just remember that setbacks, or whatever you want to call them, bad days, they're not the end of it. They're the journey. So move through things with a very, very gentle air, and that's definitely going to help you as well. Number 4, and I felt like this was definitely one of the biggest things that helped me pull out of my rut, is community. Reach out to people that can help you, that have maybe been through a similar situation. I wouldn't say go around and tell everybody, but there are support groups. Your therapist can be your community. I will be your community. In fact, on my website, I have a place called Safe Space that I dedicated to people that wanted to ask anonymous questions about sexual assault to see where they could start to heal. And that kind of community is invaluable. So make sure that you take care of yourself and you use your voice, because I've noticed, at least for me, that the more I talk about it, the more I bring it into reality, the more I can break it apart, accept it, and let it go. All right, guys, so very, very quick 4 tips for you. My heart is with you if this is something that you've experienced. And if you ever meet someone that you need to speak to, please let me know. I will put the link for Safe Space and for therapy in this description so that you can access it if it's something that you need. And I wish you all the luck and love on your healing journey. See you guys next week.